A struggling single dad thought his luck had run out, until a drenched stranger walked into the hospital with a secret that would rewrite their lives. What happened next? This is a story about fate, forgiveness, and the family you never saw coming. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and like to join us for more unforgettable stories. Don't forget to turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. The storm that brought her. The rain came down in sheets, turning the streets of Chicago into a blur of neon reflections and rushing headlights. Liam Carter tightened his grip on the steering wheel, his knuckles white with tension. The clock on the dashboard read 7:48 p.m., 12 minutes until his shift started at Silver Pine General Hospital. 12 minutes he didn't have. His phone buzzed on the passenger seat. A text from his sister, Mara. Noah's asking for you. His breathing's okay, but he's scared. Liam exhaled sharply, his breath fogging the windshield for a split second before the defroster erased it. Noah, his 6-year-old son, had been in and out of the pediatric ward all winter. Asthma, the doctor said. Bad air quality, bad luck, bad genes. Whatever the reason, it didn't change the fact that Liam was barely keeping his head above water between hospital bills and double shifts. He pulled into the hospital parking lot, tires splashing through a shallow river of rainwater. No time for an umbrella. He sprinted toward the entrance, his scrubs already clinging to his skin by the time he reached the automatic doors. That's when he saw her. A woman stood just inside the lobby, dripping onto the polished floor. Her blouse was soaked through, her dark hair plastered to her face. She clutched a leather briefcase against her chest like a shield, her shoulders hunched against the cold. Something about the way she stood, too still, too tense, made Liam pause. Without thinking, he shrugged off his hoodie and held it out. Here, you look like you need this more than I do. She turned, and for the first time, he saw her face. High cheekbones, sharp green eyes, lips pressed into a thin line. Beautiful, but in a way that felt distant, like a painting behind glass. Her gaze flickered over him, hesitating for half a heartbeat before she took the hoodie. Thank you, she said, her voice low. Then, softer, Liam. His stomach dropped. How the hell did she know his name? Before he could ask, she was already walking away, disappearing down the hallway toward the ICU. Liam stared after her, unease prickling the back of his neck. He'd never seen her before in his life. He was sure of it, and yet the overhead speaker crackled to life. Code Blue, Pediatric Wing. Code Blue. Noah. Liam forgot about the woman. Forgot about the rain. Forgot about everything except the crushing fear that his son was drowning in his own lungs again. He took off running. 3 hours later, the crisis had passed. Noah slept fitfully in his hospital bed, his small chest rising and falling under the hum of the oxygen machine. Liam slumped in the chair beside him, exhaustion weighing his bones like lead. That's when he heard the nurses talking. Said she's the one who funded the new research wing. Kensington from BioVine Tech, the billionaire. Liam's head snapped up. The name hit him like a punch. Kensington. A memory surfaced, sharp and sudden. A charity gala 5 years ago. A too loud band, champagne that tasted like regret, and a woman in a black dress who'd laughed at his terrible jokes before pulling him into a darkened hallway. Sophia, she'd said. My name's Sophia. He'd never seen her again. Until tonight. One of the nurses lowered her voice. Apparently, she's been asking about Noah Carter. Specifically, ice flooded Liam's veins. No, it wasn't possible. But as he looked down at his son, at the curve of his nose, the stubborn set of his jaw, so unlike Liam's own, the truth settled over him like a storm. Sophia Kensington hadn't just known his name. She knew Noah's, and that could only mean one thing. The file she left behind. The hospital corridor stretched endlessly in front of Liam, the fluorescent lights buzzing like a swarm of angry wasps. His sneakers squeaked against the linoleum floor as he paced, his mind racing faster than his heartbeat. Sophia Kensington. The name echoed in his skull, each syllable a hammer strike. Noah was asleep now, his breathing steady under the watchful beep of the monitors. The doctor had assured Liam the worst was over, this time. But the question still burned in his chest. Why was Sophia here? He needed answers. Liam turned on his heel and headed for the ICU. If Sophia had been asking about Noah, someone had no more. The night shift nurse, a no-nonsense woman named Rita, barely glanced up from her charts when he approached. "Looking for someone?" she asked, her voice dry as dust. "Yeah," the woman who came in earlier, soaked, carrying a briefcase. "Sophia Kensington." Rita's pen paused mid-scribble. Her eyes flicked to the empty chair beside her, then back to Liam. "She left about an hour ago. Forgot her briefcase, though. Security's got it." Liam's pulse jumped. "Can I see it?" "Not without a reason." "I think," Liam swallowed hard, "I think she might be family." Rita studied him for a long moment before sighing and reaching for phone. "I'll call down." The briefcase sat on the security desk, sleek black leather with a silver monogram. S.K. Liam's fingers trembled as he flipped the latches. Inside were folders, a tablet, and a single unmarked envelope. He hesitated only a second before pulling out the top file. "Carter, Noah, medical research." The words blurred in front of him. He forced himself to focus, skimming the pages. Genetic markers, treatment protocols, and at the bottom of the stack, a birth certificate, one he'd never seen before. Father, Liam Carter. Mother, Sophia Kensington. The room tilted. Liam gripped the edge of the desk, his breath coming in short gasps. 5 years. 5 years of raising Noah alone, of wondering where his son got his sharp wit and his love for numbers. 5 years of believing Sophia had walked away without a second thought. But this wasn't a woman who'd forgotten. The envelope crinkled as he tore it open. Inside was a handwritten note. The ink smudged as if written in a hurry. "Liam, I didn't know about Noah until last year. By the time I tracked you down, you'd moved. I swear I never meant to keep this from you. Meet me tomorrow, 8 a.m. at the cafe on 3rd. I'll explain everything. Sophia." A business card slipped from the envelope. "Sophia Kensington, CEO, BioVine Therapeutics." The same logo embroidered on Noah's hospital gown. Liam's throat tightened. All this time, while he'd been stitching together a life for Noah with overtime and coupons, Sophia had been building an empire. And now she wanted to talk? The security guard cleared his throat. "You okay, man? You look like you've seen a ghost." Liam folded the note with shaking hands. "Yeah, he lied. Just tired." He left the briefcase where it was, but pocketed the letter. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving the city glistening under the streetlights. Liam leaned against the hospital wall, the brick cold against his back. Tomorrow he'd get answers. But for now, he had a son to tuck in. Noah stirred when Liam slipped back into the room, his eyelids fluttering. "Daddy." "Right here, buddy." Liam smoothed his son's curls, his heart aching at the trust in that sleepy gaze. "Did the rain lady find you?" Liam froze. "What?" "The pretty lady who talked to me. She said she knew you from a long time ago." Noah yawned. "She smelled like flowers." A lump formed in Liam's throat. "What else did she say?" Noah's eyes drifted shut. "That she's sorry." The monitor beeped steadily as Liam watched his son sleep, the note burning a hole in his pocket. Outside, a siren wailed in the distance, a reminder that the world kept turning, whether he was ready or not. Tomorrow would come, and with it, Sophia, the trial and the truth. The cafe on 3rd Street was nearly empty at 8 a.m., the morning light filtering through the windows in pale gold streaks. Liam sat at a corner table, his hands wrapped around a coffee cup he hadn't touched. His leg bounced under the table, a nervous rhythm that matched the ticking clock above the counter. She was late. Or maybe she wasn't coming. The bell above the door chimed, and Liam's head snapped up. Sophia stood in the doorway, her hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail, her coat perfectly tailored. No trace of last night's storm. She looked every inch the billionaire CO, except for the shadows under her eyes. She spotted him and hesitated, just for a second, before crossing the room. "Liam." Her voice was softer than he remembered. "You knew." The words came out harsher than he intended. "All this time, you knew about Noah." Sophia sat across from him, her hands folding neatly on the table. Not all this time. Then she took a breath. A little over a year ago, my company was working on genetic research, asthma markers in children. Noah's medical records flagged in our system. His DNA matched mine. Liam's grip tightened around his coffee cup. And you didn't think to call? I tried. Her gaze flickered away. You'd moved. Changed your number. By the time I found you, Noah was already in the hospital. I didn't know how to just show up. So you what? Donated a hospital wing and lurked in the shadows. Sophia flinched. I wanted to help, without disrupting his life, without disrupting yours. Liam leaned back, studying her. The woman in front of him wasn't the carefree stranger from that galley years ago. This Sophia was sharper, harder, but the way her fingers trembled against the table gave her away. She was scared. Help how? He asked. She pulled a folder from her bag and slid it toward him. Noah's asthma isn't just bad luck. It's linked to a rare genetic mutation. My team has been developing a treatment. Liam flipped open the folder. Clinical trials. Success rates. A photo of a lab, white-coated scientists huddled over microscopes. It's not just medicine, Sophia continued. It's a gene therapy. It could fix this. But, she hesitated, it's still in trials, and it requires consent from both parents. Liam's stomach dropped. You're asking me to make Noah a test subject. I'm asking you to give him a chance. Her voice cracked. I should have been there. I know that, but let me do this now. The cafe noise faded around them. Somewhere, a blender whirred. A customer laughed. Normal sounds for a conversation that felt anything but normal. Liam closed the folder. I need to think about it. Sophia nodded. Of course. He stood, pushing his untouched coffee away. I'll call you. She reached into her pocket and placed a single key card on the table. This will get you into BioVine anytime. Tour the lab. Meet the team. Ask whatever you need to. Liam pocketed the card without a word and walked out. Noah was coloring when Liam returned to the hospital, his tongue poking out in concentration. He looked up, grinning. Daddy, look, I drew a dragon. Liam forced a smile, taking the crayon-scrawled paper. That's awesome, buddy. Can we get pancakes? Not today. Liam sat on the edge of the bed. Hey, I need to ask you something. If there was a way to make your breathing better, but it might be a little scary, would you want to try it? Noah tilted his head. Like a superhero shot? Something like that. Would it mean I could play soccer? Liam's throat tightened. Yeah, it might. Noah nodded, decisive. Then yes. Simple as that. Liam pulled out his phone and dialed a number on Sophia's business card. She answered on the first ring. We're in, he said. A pause. Then quietly, thank you. The next morning, Liam and Noah stood outside BioVine's gleaming headquarters. Noah pressed his face against the glass doors, his breath fogging the surface. Whoa, it's like a spaceship. Sophia met them in the lobby, her heels clicking against the marble floor. She crouched to Noah's eye level. Hi, Noah. I'm Sophia. Noah blinked up at her. Are you the rain lady? A faint smile touched her lips. I am. Liam watched as Noah, his fearless, curious boy, reached out and took Sophia's hand. Daddy says you're going to help me breathe better. Sophia's eyes flickered to Liam, shimmering with something he couldn't name. I'm going to try. As they followed her into the elevator, Liam realized the truth. This wasn't just about a treatment anymore. It was about trust. And for Noah's sake, he was willing to give it. The family they built. 1 year later, Liam stood outside Silver Pine General Hospital again, but this time, everything had changed. The woman who had walked into his life drenched and mysterious was now holding his son's hand. And Noah? He had one question that would change their lives forever. Before we dive into this heartwarming finale, don't forget to like and subscribe for more emotional journeys. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story. The morning sun streamed through the hospital windows as Liam adjusted Noah's tie for the third time. The boy squirmed, his small fingers batting at Liam's hands. Dad, stop. It's itchy. Liam chuckled, smoothing down the tiny suit jacket. You gotta look sharp today, buddy. Big ceremony. Noah rolled his eyes, a habit he definitely picked up from Sophia, but grinned when the doors of the auditorium swung open. Sophia stood there, radiant in a deep blue dress, her hair loose around her shoulders. A year ago, she'd been a stranger. Now, she was the woman who had fought tooth and nail to get Noah's treatment approved, who had sat by his hospital bed reading Harry Potter when Liam needed sleep, who had somehow become as much a part of their lives as the air they breathed. You two ready? She asked, holding out her hand. Noah grabbed it immediately, tugging her forward. Come on, they're going to name the new wing after me. Liam fell into step beside them, his chest tight with a feeling he still hadn't found a name for. The hallways were familiar. The same fluorescent lights, the same scent of antiseptic, but everything else was different. Noah's asthma was in remission. Sophia's gene therapy had worked. And somehow, against all odds, the three of them had become a family. The ceremony passed in a blur of speeches and applause. Noah beamed when the mayor shook his hand, when the ribbon was cut, when the shiny new plaque was unveiled. The Noah Carter Pediatric Wing. Afterward, as the crowd mingled over finger sandwiches, Liam found Sophia on the hospital rooftop, the same place they'd had their first real conversation a year ago. You're missing your own party, he said, leaning beside her against the railing. She smiled, watching the city below. Just needed a minute. The wind played with her hair, and Liam remembered the first time he'd seen her. Soaked, shivering, a mystery he never saw coming. Sophia, he started, then hesitated. Noah's voice interrupted them, breathless from running up the stairs. Guys, the cake's here. Sophia turned, but Noah didn't move. He fidgeted, uncharacteristically shy, before blurting out, Can we be a real family now? The world stopped. Liam's breath caught. Sophia's hand flew to her mouth. Noah plowed on, determined, like all the time, not just hospital visits and weekends. I want us to live together, like a modern family. Sophia dropped to her knees, pulling Noah into a hug. When she looked up at Liam, her eyes were bright with tears. Liam crouched beside them, his voice rough. What do you say, Sophia? Ready to come in from the rain for good? She laughed, the sound mingling with Noah's cheers as she whispered, Yes. If this story touched your heart, like and share to spread the love. Subscribe for more unforgettable journeys of love and second chances. What's your favorite family moment? Tell us in the comments below.